all of them. Start all of them.
Everybody dance now.
Hello. What up? Warrior Queen.
Yes, party before every live. To the left. Now slide.
What up, you guys? Hello. Welcome. So excited to be here with my amazing friend and co-founder of Warrior Queens Rise. I'm going to let her do her thing here in a minute. But those of you who don't know me, my name is Carissa Atkins. I'm the CEO and founder of Alpha Queen Collective, and I'm the co-founder of Warrior Queens Rise. And we help women have it all in my business, right? We help them with their business strategies, their marketing strategies, their speaking strategies, everything that you need to grow your business. We help you do. Coaches and entrepreneurs only. Sorry, men. Sorry, other digital, amazing people out there, but we only work with coaches and consultants. But yeah, that's a little bit about what we do. Leslie, what do you do?
Thank you, ma'am. What's up, everybody? My name is Leslie Liu. I'm the founder of a company called Reclaiming Your Courage, and I really just help women make practical self-defense practical for them, for the everyday woman. So with my mind, body, voice methodology, I take women from weak to warrior strong. So at the end of the day, it's all about empowerment and love here. I'm so excited to be here. I am also the co-founder of Warrior Queens Rise. I am the warrior in this picture. I do not exist without the queen here. And let me tell you a little bit about us if you don't know who we are. Carissa and I went to Kenya for the first time in 2023, didn't know much about anything, and we were rooming together for the Speaking a Humanitarian tour. And if you know, spending 2 weeks with anyone could either make it or break it, and in our case, it made it. And it really, really struck a nerve for her and I. And I remember us just being in tears and so moved by the experience, but also the need. And at the end of the day, it's really amazing to come across another woman who has vision, who has passion, who has drive, who has integrity. And it was a no-brainer for me because I know those qualities within myself. And so to be alongside someone else like Carissa, 30 days later, we were like, we are going to create a global women's empowerment movement like no one has ever seen. And that is what Warrior Queens Rise is. So I'm going to let Carissa tell you about what Warrior Queens Rise is.
Love it. Yeah, Warrior Queens Rise is all about empowering and creating a world where women are respected, empowered, and free from violence. And just some of the issues that we address is gender-based violence, access and education around feminine hygiene, sanitary products, such as, we're going to get into it here, but such as the Ruby Cup, as well as sanitary napkins, but more importantly, the education around the human anatomy in a woman's body and a girl's body and kind of what's going on. And of course, we address mental health issues because mental health issues are on the rise. And we know our work in the work that we do, whether it's speaking, empowering, coaching, helping heal, we are helping them with their mental health issues. That is for sure. And the last real main key area is that we focus on wellness, women's wellness, teen wellness, and just overall emotional wellness. So those are some of the biggest issues that we that we educate and we empower on. And we do all of this through education and advocacy and empowerment. And we really strive to build a global sisterhood where every woman can rise as a warrior queen, confident in her abilities and empowered to create positive changes in her own life and in the lives of others. We understand that when one woman rises, every woman rises, right? So if I can do it, you can do it. If Leslie can do it, everyone can do it. And we believe in that. And we want to show women and teens, right, how to have it all, how to feel safe, how to feel empowered, how to feel confident, how to work through their challenges and obstacles, how to build mental resilience so that when life, throws them an obstacle or a curveball, it doesn't crush them. We stand together and we rise together every single day. So together, we do build a future where women's rights and gender equality are not just ideals and nice things to talk about, but a reality for every single one of them. So we went on an incredible tour. Leslie mentioned we originally, went on a tour as speakers. We were excited to give back. We were excited to educate. We were excited to speak. And what we came back home with was a freaking vision so damn powerful, it was game changing, right? It was a vision of movement makers. It was a vision of two women who thought, I think we can do better. I think we can heal more. I think we can transform more lives. And we did some pretty incredible things on that tour alone. But again, we were like, I think we can go bigger. I think we're meant for more. I think we can play in a bigger arena. And so Leslie and I got together. We created Warrior Queens Rise, and we were so excited and so blessed and honored to have gone back a second time, this time as our own business, Warrior Queens Rise, not representing two separate businesses, but we went back as one and we came out stronger together. And not only did we go together and impact so many lives, and we're about to share with you all the type of impact that we really went into, but we were able to take 8 other beautiful, empowering healers and coaches and women with stories and a vision as well, and we were able to do such amazing things. So Leslie, what were some of the things that really come to mind that we were able to do that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I want to share when we did really briefly, like when we did come back and created Warrior Queens Rise, what was like kind of the heart of it all and our core values. I'm going to touch on really briefly. Our core values are love. And so everything with kindness, compassion, and respect and really, you have to have that heart and that servant's heart to be part of our program and our movement. So that's kind of like number one. Secondly is reciprocity. We believe that in the power of giving and receiving, but if you're going to receive, you have to believe in the power of giving back. That creates that ripple effect for positive change. And we understand the power of community. And that's why Carissa said we're better together. So we are co-creating this so that we have stronger communities, because we can't do it alone when we feel like we've hit rock bottom and we have no resources and support. Next, we believe in being self-powered. And so when we kind of talk about the highlights in a second, we really taught everyone how to fish. It wasn't just about giving them resources. I think coming from a place of gratitude and giving people tools and the skill sets is really important, and is actually a really big pillar of what Carissa and I do together. And then lastly, strength. The reason why we brought healers and people who are experts in trauma is we understand that it's not about exterior physical strength. It's about helping people really hone into their inner queen and their inner warrior. So feeling super blessed about that. And I want to highlight, I thought reaching 10,000 people during our first experience in Kenya was, it like took my breath away. And I remember telling Carissa, like, oh my God, it would be really great for me to speak in front of 500 people. And then by the end of 10 days in that first experience, it was 10,000. But let us tell you about Warrior Queens Rise, Stand Together, Rise Together tour. So I want to, a big focal point of our 2024 tour was really serving, making an impact. We really wanted to get our hands dirty. And so what we did with the people on our tour is we did a community housing project where we helped rebuild a widow's home that was damaged from the flooding. So this woman lived with multiple sons, and culturally at a certain age, it's not proper to stay in the same home as your son. So we saw a need, and with our local ambassador, Dominic Obadiah, we helped fundraise $850 thanks to many of you. And what that $850 does is we and everyone spent half of a day literally just slept with our hands, mud, patching up walls, nailing really thick nails on to rebuild a door, to paint, right? And it's amazing that in a matter of a couple of hours, that this woman and her family would have shelter and have warmth and have protection from the elements. So we were really excited about that. I know that that was the highlight for Carissa and I and so many people, and it was beautiful to see tears brought to her eyes. Next, big heavy lifting, you guys. The first time that we went to Kenya, there was a big problem that we didn't identify, but the girls started talking to us. Every time we would be finishing speaking, they wanted to walk alongside the queen and the warrior. And something that was on the girls' mind was, I can't afford sanitary pads. And before that, we didn't even really know that that was a problem. But the reality is that it is taxed heavily for women in Kenya. So that means that they have to use cheaper products. Sometimes that means they have to reuse one sanitary pad. It leaves them exposed to toxic chemicals in those cheap pads, which sends them to the hospital, which makes them sick. So they're missing out on school and their education. But here's the other reality. There were men in the communities that would say, we will help you pay for those pads if you sleep with me. So Chris and I were like, nope, we've got to do something. So we partnered with a company called Ruby Cups. And so we spent all of 2024 with all of the speakers to really identify this medical grade silicone cup. And when this cup is properly sanitized and taken care of, this is a 10-year lifeline for these girls, you guys. And the misconception is that you need so much water. Why would we want to use our water supply for that? No, that's false. That's a lie. It only takes a little bit of water to clean. Okay. So in 2024, we raised well over 2.3 million Kenyan shillings to provide 464 of these silicone cups to these girls. And we got to deliver that on that trip. Not only did we deliver the cups, your donations made it possible for those girls to receive the proper education around female anatomy and also best hygiene practices. So it was breathtaking to see how eager these girls were to learn through this. And I'm going to hit on two more, and I'd love to, Chris to be able to chime in because I know there's so much to kind of chime in here. And then next, we co-created a leadership manual for each of these schools, really honing in on leadership skills, empowering individuals with knowledge. Everyone that we met in Kenya, all of these girls, I mean, they're just eager to learn, right? And so we gave them a framework. We gave them a beautiful book that Chris is going to talk about in depth later on as well. And we donated those books to each of the schools that we visited. We visited at least 3 schools a day. We reached well over 25,000 students in our time there. And lastly, empowerment through speaker training. Our skills-focused speaker training was for the person. Who is this tour for? This tour is for the person that's like, man, I'd really just love to be an international speaker, right? And so Chris and I really took time as to helping people craft a message and work through the confidence issues, the imposter syndrome. I mean, a lot of times we had less than 7 minutes to deliver a message. That takes skills. And so it was beautiful from start to finish to see people evolve to become stronger speakers. And now they all are booking stages and getting paid on stages internationally. So kudos to everyone that was on the tour. I'm going to pass it over to Carissa.
Holy hell, you guys. If that wasn't like super empowering alone, just like listening to all of those things that we were able to do, we didn't stop there because there's more, right?
I think I peed a little bit. Sorry.
Oh gosh. Well, you guys, we don't know how to do anything like normal or average, right? When you pair Leslie and myself together, like it's excellence above excellence, right? We're constantly striving for the next level of success, the next deeper transformation, etc. Which brings me into one of my favorite moments on the tour, and really that comes down to the holistic healing that we were able to do. So we got to visit, and this was a unique opportunity and one that so many speaking tours don't go on, because we realized that it's a very sensitive place, right? Leslie and I have both been in a place where, not necessarily maybe in a place like that I'm about to tell you, but we've been in the place where we've been hurt big time, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. We've felt broken in our past and our experiences as young, children and teens. So we really felt strong and pulled to go to a particular place. I cannot tell you the name because it's a safe haven, right? It's a safe zone for girls and teens who have been raped, who have been violated, and who most of them had babies. So we got to go into a holistic healing center where they bring in these girls, they bring in the babies, and they support them, right? They support them on their healing path back to society, feeling back and safe, and feeling empowered enough to stand up for themselves, feeling confident in who they are again. Because so many of those girls lost their identity the minute somebody took it away from them, the minute that someone took their childhood playfulness away, and it was replaced with fear. And this healing center not only helps provide a safe place, but it also allows, healers like myself and Leslie and Michelle and Heather and Dawn and Lisa to come in and to really, not only speak to them and empower them, but teach them some modalities that can help them work through their trauma and their drama. So it was one of my favorite places. It was so touching to see these healers go in there, sing, gospel music, do breath work, do meditation, help them start to heal and feel normal again. It was a beautiful place, and we're going to definitely go back to this healing center. So we thank you. We know you're watching. We know you're listening, and this world needs more people like you and more healing centers that you have created. Next up was the community service project that we were able to do in the slums. So one of our stops was to speak at, I think it was Kibra school. I believe it was a mixed school. It's one of the most lowest schools on the board, right? It's highly the families are heavily living in poverty. So sorry, guys. So they don't have a lot of funds. They don't have a lot of money, obviously. They don't definitely get speakers to come and teach and train. But we started our slum tour with going to the school. And what was really cool is that when we ask every school, right, what do you need? What do your students need? And I believe it was a student that came up to us and said, we wish we had more trees, because it's very hot, as you can see. We don't get a lot of water because obviously they collect a lot of water and they purify it and they drink it, but you don't get a ton of water there. And so he's like, we want trees, we want shade, we need this, we need that. And so for a young man to tell us that, because I said, if we could come back and bring anything to this school and this foundation, what would it be? And he said, trees. We really need trees. We've got a message, I believe, from one of y'all fans.
This is up your alley, bro. Listen up. Thank you. Sending you much love.
Yes. Hello. So what I was saying is that we started our slum tour at the school, right? But then we knew the need went much further, and we really love getting our hands dirty. And so we went shopping the day before, and we spent hundreds of dollars buying, flour and, bars of soap and things that this community needs, just basic living essentials, right? Basic pads, basic bars of soap, basic food, anything like that. We went and we spent a couple $100s. We pretty much cleaned out some stores. We filled the shopping carts. We had them box everything up, and we made a massive donation to the kids in the slums. We were able to feed, I think, over 300 kids with just our donation. I can't remember, but you guys, it was so impactful to walk the streets. Like, I can't even explain it to you. I cannot even explain the poverty level that these people are living in, right? And the effects, and the ripple effect of living in such a place, right? Zero running water, trash is everywhere. There's no locks and doors. It's like everyone just kind of respects everyone's space there. But to walk alongside kids who haven't had a meal in days, to walk alongside teens who have to hike miles for clean drinking water and hope to God that they don't get raped or attacked on the way there. Like, that is the reality that we were walking through. And so many people would be afraid, right? But I felt very secure. I know our speakers felt very secure because we hired private security. We wanted to be able to experience that, not just for ourselves, because there's a massive energetic exchange, right? It's one thing for them to see us and for them to see us helping when we don't have to, right? People go to places like this and never ever think twice about supporting or donating far beyond, something like $100 or something like that. But we also then got to see what their living conditions are. It's a mutual exchange. And we felt very safe walking through the slums. It's one of the largest slums in Africa. And we did, because, we take the security on our tour very, very important, right? We want our speakers and healers to feel very, very secure. But that was a game-changing moment, guys, to walk through those streets and to have my teenage daughter walk through those streets. You come back with new perspectives. You really, really are grateful for everything you have. Everything. Okay. The next project that I really want to talk about is one of my favorite numbers to talk about, honestly. That number is 20,000 plus. Okay. So 20,000 plus is the number of lives that we were able to speak to when we were there for just 9 days. So me, Leslie, and all of the speakers, including one of my, our youth ambassador, Sarah, we all got to speak. And Leslie mentioned the first go around, we spoke to about 10,000. We were like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like, what? Who gets to speak to 10,000 people in 9 days? Like, that's more than 1,000 a day. And some of those days were 5,000 and 6,000 people. Like, we were on top of the world. But every time we got back in that bus, Ambassador Dominic would be like, hey, guess what? The next school has 3,000. The next one has 2,100. The next place we're going to has 1,000. Like, these weren't just hundreds. These are thousands, right? These are thousands of people. But more importantly, we know the power of a single keynote talk. We know the power that just one talk has on a life. And if you 10x that by 20,000 individuals that heard messages from so many speakers, from so many healers, it's so incredible. It's so incredible to know how many lives that we are actually able to help transform and help inspire in just a short amount of time. So do you remember that, Leslie, when he was like, it's like this next school is 3,500. We're like, what? These are crazy.
I can't even picture it. I mean, if you guys have seen photos, I mean, there was literally one photo and video of us showing up with 3,000 girls standing in the rain, waiting for us. As soon as we landed from one county to the next county, the bus headed straight to one school. Those girls didn't move. It was raining, 3,000. And then someone came over with the umbrella during Carissa's talk. It was the most beautiful thing because of the beauty and the purity of the message.
It was so good. It was so good. You guys, if your mission is to impact lives, this is the tour that you need to consider in 2025. Like, I'm not even joking. We haven't even told you what that tour is. We're just literally recapping what two girls' dreams were, and we blew them out of the water, right? We blew them out of the water. Okay. All right. So up next, just a couple more. I'll speed these up, you guys, because they're getting juicy and we want to get to some really amazing information. So the next thing that we were able to do in Kenya when we were there for the Stand Together, Rise Together tour was we were able to collectively, right, donate 3 computers to a school called Talik School. It was in part of our Masai Mara excursion. We kind of start, we go up in the buses and we get up in the mountains and things become more scarce and it actually becomes more peaceful because it's just, you and nature and these beautiful souls. But we stood in front of, I think that school had well over 2,700 students plus all of the staff. And we asked that school, what would be a game changer for you? And they said, we know that technology is power. And we would love technology because technology bridges the gap from the knowledge that we could be learning and the knowledge that we don't. And we would love a computer.
A computer.
Right? So we were like huddle, right? We're like, all they want is one. And we're like, yeah, but we could do 3 computers, right? And so we collected the money. We sent a message to Dominic. I can remember it from side stage, and I was like, "Yo, we got people who are ready to donate, and we have 3 computers that we're ready to donate." And he made the announcement, and very quickly, Madam Principal said, "You know what? Because of your generous, donation, we are going to create a technology lab. We're going to name it Warrior Queens Rise. And this is going to be a huge step in the empowerment direction for these girls." And I was like, what? Even the freaking mayor's wife, right, was like, I want to get in on this magic. And she was able to donate and do all cool things, you guys. So together we truly can, change the world. So the next one that I want to talk about is that Warrior Queens Rise book. This was a straight up donation, right? We knew when Leslie and I got together, this is stuff that our clients pay us big bucks to teach them. This has got mindset strategy. It's got how to build confidence. This is like a strategy leadership book, step by step on how to build the skills that are not taught in school. But if they were taught in school, we'd have less obesity, we'd have less mental health issues, we'd have less divorce rates, we'd have less, suicides. We would have so much less if these were the skills that were actually taught in school. And I 100% believe in that. And we believe that knowledge is power. And Leslie and I both love to read, of course. So prior to the tour, we're like, you know what? Let's put some of the best of our training together in one booklet. And we're like, cool. And then I was like, okay, but what if we donate 1 copy to each school? And we're like, okay, that'd be a good start, but we think we can do better. And so we ordered a massive amount of books from Kenyans, by the way. We're not taking these books and having them printed in the US. It's important for us to help provide job security for Kenyans. And so we had these books printed in Kenya, binded in Kenya, right? Made in Kenya. And we were able to, I think it was 20 to 40 books per school. So we helped filling the library and these girls loved it. They were like, can I read it? Can I see it? Can I? And I was like, we have to give these to the teachers. I'm sorry. But 120 leadership books went out to students and staff, faculty, enhancing the lives of them physically, mentally, and emotionally. All right. One more, you guys. I know it's crazy.
I know, heart palpitations. Sorry, you guys.
Come back. I know this is nuts, y'all, but this is what happens when you listen to the calling. When you know you're meant for more and you listen to the calling and you act with courage and love, this is what is able to happen. Okay. Impact happens. So the final and last thing I want to talk about is the humanitarian awards. Okay. Total surprise, by the way, for so many of our speakers and healers. So each speaker who came on our tour last year was given an award, and actually they were honored in a global, like in a summit, right, format. They were honored with a global humanitarian award in recognition of their groundbreaking contributions and inspirational efforts. All right, you guys, this has never been done with other tours before. Why? Because so many people go expecting to get something back. We went just expecting to give. And it is nice to be recognized for that honor. And every single one of our speakers is now an international award-winning, recognized in the humanitarian category, by the way. And when we drop that awesome documentary coming out soon in the next couple of years, this will be just one of those additional notches that every single one of our speakers that goes on these tours will be able to say. So you guys, between the humanitarian awards, the 20,000 plus lives that were impacted, the speaker training, the Ruby Cup initiative, right? The home rebuild, each milestone reflects the spirit of collaboration and dedication. And as a part of the community, right, we have demonstrated that we care, that we are here to stay. Warrior Queens Rise is not going away anytime today, tomorrow, or in the future. It's our legacy. We are here and we are not going anywhere. So with that, Leslie, I'm going to let you have it, the sisterhood part.
Wow, sis. I love when you speak. Which leads me into the sisterhood. I mean, at the heart of this all, during our first tour, there was something I said to the girls that really struck them, that was kind of the birth of Warrior Queens Rise. I had asked the question of whether or not these girls have ever felt the pain of friendship, of having another girl hurt them. And that kind of helped me introduce kind of, my dynamic with Carissa. And so on our tour, in the Stand Together, Rise Together tour, we choreographed a scene, a fight scene, because we know martial artists. I love me some choreography, Michelle Yeoh style, right? But how could we visually depict a very powerful message? Because when you're in front of thousands and thousands of young people, not everyone can hear you. So her and I got together, and some of our best work is done late at night, sharing a room together. But how could we convey the message of the spirit of what we're doing? And so Chris and I choreographed a scene, and in the style of a battle, of a fight, we had robes and everything. And we choreographed a fight, like full out, you guys, like her flipping. She's tiny. She can do some Jackie Chan stuff, whatever. Like, we're doing all the things. We're kicking and punching. And there's a moment in which I think she falls down or something, or I'm about to deliver a blow, and she's crying, and I go towards her, and it just hits me like, I'm so sorry. Right. And there's a big shift in that. So if you haven't seen any of our videos, you should. But what it really comes down to is going towards another sister, right? Like, sister, what's going on? What's wrong? This isn't like you. And to shift that entire story and to end it with love, right? And we had all of the girls do our symbol, right, which is the heart symbol. This is why you see photos of thousands of girls. We ask them to find somebody next to them, and that resonates with them. And it's important to talk about global sisterhood, because then they knew they weren't alone, because so many of those girls are abandoned, or they're thrown out like trash because they were impregnated from gender-based violence. So Warrior Queens Rise is much more than Carissa and I, but at the heart of it all, like, I love her, right? And so when we are speaking and we are delivering the message, people see that and people want that. And so when we embody that message of love and care and always looking out for one another, these girls see that. And so, yeah, that's what we're on a mission to do, is build this united front. And it's not a front. Like, that's how we show care for one another.
I remember when that fight scene became orchestrated. And I was like, this is going to be good. But like nothing beats the power of when you're actually doing it in front of the thousands and you hear the girls go, oh, no, right? You can see that they're following the journey that we're showing them through our actions. And when we stand up together and, like you can just feel that electricity through thousands of souls. Like, oh, like, I'm like, is this ever gonna, like, can we do better? And I'm like, of course we can. We can always go back and improve. But I'm like, that was such a good message. And I absolutely loved it. Yeah, we have so much magic together and we have so much fun. Absolutely. Cool. Well, I want to tell a little bit about what's next, right? Like we can't just stop with the Stand Together, Rise Together tour of 2024. So we came back and we got in our huddle and we're like, okay, what's next, right? And we realized that we had so much more in us and we cannot wait. And so Leslie and I got together and we came up with our theme for this year. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the beginning and I want to just kind of introduce impact. And if you're ready to join the movement that's transforming lives across all continents, stay tuned. All right. So what is impact? What is Warrior Queens Rise? Well, this particular tour is focused on healing and humanitarian work, right? So instead of going big with our numbers, 20,000, 23,000, we're going back down to around 10, 15,000. And I know that still seems like an incredible number, and it is, but we realize that yes, we went very wide, but now these teens and these kids need us to really work with them, right? We kind of spread the word, we spread the message of hope and inspiration, we taught, we empowered, but we were like, we can do more with each of these schools. We can come back and workshop with them. We can help heal. We can use our holistic modalities and we can bring them into the school and the classroom and we can help these girls and these young entrepreneurs thrive. So I'm excited. Leslie and I are excited to put together the July 2025 Warrior Queens Rise Healing and Humanitarian Global Speaking Tour. And the journey is going back to Kenya. So Warrior Queens Rise, in the heart of Kenya, a transformation is waiting to unfold. The WQR Global Tour isn't just a journey, it's a mission to empower, heal, and elevate humanity. For 7 extraordinary days, you guys are going to join us, an exclusive sisterhood and visionary leaders stepping into your power while lifting other people up. I mean, that top photo, guys, that just screams like happiness and joy in my heart right there. So much fun. So this is your moment. I'm calling you forward. Right? This is for you. If you have a message, if you have a heart, if you are a heart-led leader who is looking to do big things. And I believe that in 2025, every business entrepreneur who is serious about showing up and doing some work, you need to be adding humanitarian work to your checklist. Okay. It's not all about the money. It's not all about the paychecks at the end of the day. It's about impact and it's about transformation. And those of you who are getting this right now, this tour is for you. So I invite you to share your voice with the communities hungry for change. Like you guys, the reason why we love Kenya so much is because they literally want, like they eat everything up, right? They learn, they take the lessons and they go and they do it. We've had girls for the second time around at those schools say, I remember this tactic that you gave us. I remembered it. It saved my life. Thank you, Leslie. Like they remember the things that we teach them. Okay. So that's how we know that the work is needed. If you're ready to build homes alongside local families, if you're ready to mentor young women poised for tomorrow's leaders, right? If you're ready to create sustainable impact that ripples through the next 100 generations. If you're looking to connect with diplomats, leaders, change makers, this is the tour. And if you're ready to truly engage in an authentic experience to witness the beauty of Kenya and immerse yourself in that culture, then the Impact Tour is for you. So your journey includes almost everything. Shared accommodations and meals, transportation, including any in-country flights if we were to have them, private bus, private security detail, an expert local ambassador and experienced facilitators like Leslie and I, exclusive speaker mastery training course, photos and videos for the tour, international speaker award, transformative experiences, and community give back initiatives. So if you're a big hell yes for any of that, consider our tour on your 2025 speaking reel. All right, your investment, I'm going to drop the link, but you can read the full investment there. You guys, Leslie and I have actually put together something that's over $12,000 in value. And I can absolutely say without a doubt that each and every one of the speakers that we brought with us on the last tour would have paid double, if not triple, the amount because of what it did for them. Because you can go and think you're going to impact their lives, but I'm telling you, the big magical transformation that happens is inside of you that you cannot pay for. Okay. So there are, of course, flexible payment options. There are limited spots for the July tour. Like I said, we're going deeper with the healing. We're not going so wide. There are early bird pricings available. So definitely check that out. We'll drop the document link below. And yeah, I want to just invite you to begin your Warrior Queen journey. Join the global movement, impacting tens of thousands of lives every single visit we go to, creating lasting change through sustainable initiatives, building a worldwide network of empowered women, and transforming communities through direct action. You guys, the world is waiting for you. The world is waiting for your voice, your story, your strength, and your spirit. So what do you say? Let's impact the world. Leslie?
Goosebumps. I want to say something that to really drive the point around depth, not width. Carissa and I are women of our word, and those girls at the Rape and Rehabilitation Center said, please come back. We won't let those girls down. So we will be going back and spending more time with those girls. Okay. For the people that asked us in the Cabrera slums for trees, we will be there planting it with our hands. So if you are an expert, especially in STEM, science related, math, we want to hear from you as well. It's not just exclusive to healers. One of the schools that we supported, I want to call them the Blue Jays. I think of like, the
Blue Princess or something like that.
They need help and support in those areas. So if you are an expert in those topics as well, we want to hear from you. But I am very excited when it was 25,000 plus, you guys. But what's special about this July tour is time. So by going deeper, we get to spend more time with these girls, right? I get to workshop with them and show them techniques, right? How to use their voice. Which is what I'm most excited about. And I know that Carissa has so much mindset magic that she can give them as well. That's going to change the trajectory of their life. So July is a special type of tour. It's not just, we're going to hit this up and then move on. It's really like building those relationships. So I think that that's what's unique about July. So we definitely want you rolling up your sleeves and with us, because regardless, we are going to go and do the work.
Amen to that. Any final words, Leslie?
No, my heart is full, and I can't wait to meet all of you who are going to apply.
Absolutely. All right, you guys, you heard it. Join the movement. It's transforming lives across all continents. We love you, and we will see you on the next one. Bye.